Live from Los Angeles, this is Dr. Erin. We come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with the universal law. And we come together as a community in Soul Society and New Thought Global to basically have empowerment and entrepreneurship and enlightenment and bring it to the world. So I am so excited today about what we're going to talk about, you guys, because we're going to talk about what it means to be a spiritual coach versus a spiritual practitioner versus a minister versus a doctor of divinity. So this is my heart's like I love this so much because I remember years back I had my spiritual awakening began when I was 22 years old, and I began to reach out in different modalities. You know, I would pick up a book here, I would meditate there, I would go to this seminar. I was obsessed with the work, but I didn't realize until years later that you could actually become licensed in it. I had actually become like handed my life over to it. I had been doing meditation for years in my closet. I had actually began to coach kind of just friends and people I knew in my life. And then I got interested in leadership. I actually did the leadership program in Landmark Forum. I got my 9 rights in shamanism. I was like all in it, all over. And then I found what was called Science of Mind in the New Thought movement. And I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not know about this, right? So I ended up becoming a spiritual practitioner. I knew. I was like, I knew. It was like, I always call it coming out of the spiritual closet. I knew I was like destined for it. So I became a spiritual practitioner, and I knew I wanted to become a minister. And then I had heard there's this thing called Doctor of Divinity, and I was like, I don't care if that takes me the rest of my life. Sign me up. I was like, I just know I'm supposed to do that, right? So I want to break down kind of the differences of what it means to be a spiritual coach, a spiritual practitioner, a minister, versus a doctor of divinity. And you obviously have to do one to do the next on a lot of those, but we're going to break it on down, okay? So first one is I want to break on down what is a coach? What's a spiritual coach? So first of all, we know there's all kinds of coaches out there in the world. There are, everything from athletic coaches to transformational coaches to money mindset coaches to whatever. And the spectrum is really big. There's no licensing around it, which I think I totally agree with, because I believe that what actually is really the curriculum for somebody who's a successful coach is they get results for their clients. And so I love the coaching industry, and there's all different types of coaches, but I'm here to say that just because someone's a coach does not mean they have it all together. Trust me, I work with coaches, and just because they're trying to be whatever out there on social media does not mean they're embodying the work. So in Soul Society, what we do it's a 300-hour certification program, and it basically, what the definition, if you will, of it is, it's basically a spiritual and business coach. And basically what they're doing is they're trained to facilitate the work of Soul Society. So that means that they go through an intense 300-hour training of spiritual mastery, which includes all the New Thought kind of principles, which includes the truth triangle, which includes the E4 trauma method. They also get trained in business coaching, in business mastery, in the 8 pillars, the foundations of the 8 pillars of business, and 12 weeks of mastermind. Okay, so that's spiritual coaching. Anyone can be a spiritual coach. There's no license around it. You can declare yourself a coach today and go get yourself an LLC and become a coach. Okay, it really just depends on, I go into that in other podcasts and other shows about what to look for in a coach, what the do's and don'ts, in my opinion, around, okay? So that's a spiritual coaching program. The second is, what is it to be a spiritual practitioner, okay? So a spiritual practitioner is basically, is a term that's used in both unities and science of mind in a New Thought genre. I'm not sure if it's done in traditional Christian, different spiritual centers, but what I know is in our world, it is basically a 360-hour program of someone, basically the definition of like, what is a spiritual practitioner? A spiritual practitioner is someone who practices, they live on spiritual principle, meaning that they're always getting their mind right. They only see the good in everything. They only know the truth of who people are. There's somebody who really undercovers the hidden beliefs of the people in their life, their clients, and so on and so forth, to help them live and create a life that they love, okay? So a spiritual practitioner is different than a spiritual coach. And a spiritual practitioner is somebody who is basically going in a specific teachings. We teach New Thought, we teach metaphysics, we teach science of mind, we teach unity, we teach divine science. It's a very, very, very specific teaching, okay? And this is a 360-hour program that we are launching this fall. And actually, some of the spiritual coaching program will go towards the spiritual practitioner program. Okay, so that is the spiritual practitioner program is a curriculum that you have to be a New Thought or metaphysical minister and a doctor of divinity. So the spiritual practitioner program for me was the best thing I ever did in my life. And the reason why is because become a spiritual practitioner means that you live in truth. You no longer have shenanigans and BS and drama and all that stuff. I truly believe, and I mean, just to be really frank with you, I don't really want anybody in my life that isn't somewhat of a spiritual practitioner. They don't have to get licensed as a spiritual practitioner. But if someone isn't living on principle, if they're not seeing the good and seeing the possibility and getting their mind right every day, they just kind of don't belong in my inner circle. That's the truth, okay? So yes. So becoming a spiritual practitioner is something we are launching in fall through New Thought Global. And it is basically a 360-hour program that will be based in understanding the fundamentals, the foundations of New Thought movement, of science of mind, of unity, of divine science. Someone who lives on principle and practices principle, understanding the history of the movement and being able to basically unveil limited beliefs within their clients. So that is what a spiritual practitioner is. A spiritual practitioner is not able to spiritually counsel. They are able to do what we call spiritual mind treatments, okay? But the spiritual coach, they can do all of that. So if you're in my program as a spiritual practitioner, you will also be able to become a spiritual coach and you will be able to do coaching, okay? One of the pitfalls I find in the spiritual practitioner programs among different centers is that they don't allow them to do the true coaching and spiritual counseling, which is your birthright, right? Okay. So next is number 3, which is the ministry. What does it mean to be a minister? Okay. So the definition, and my definition, is a New Thought minister is basically someone who reveres the truth. They teach the truth. They teach New Thought principles and science of mind and divine science principles. So that means that they do it through Sunday service, maybe. They do it through maybe a show. They do it through a podcast. They do it through being a public speaker. They do it through their platform, okay? So a minister means that they teach it. They revere the truth and they teach the truth and they help other people understand the truth. That's what a true minister is. They minister to another. They are leaders. They embody this work. They teach the work. They can do spiritual counseling. They can be the minister of a center. And the credential is a Rev, R-E-V, against their name, okay? The spiritual practitioner is New Thought Certified Practitioner. So it's NTCP, okay? And we'll go over that. So that is basically where they learn how to teach it. They learn how to speak it. They learn how to write it. So a lot of the ministry program, and the ministry program is a 670-hour program. It's a 2 to 3 year program. And basically what that is it's someone who's able to teach it. They teach it, they live it, they speak it, they write it, they are it, right? And they help others in that, okay? So the next level, and the level where I am, which I am so honored to be at, is a doctor of divinity. So what is a doctor of divinity, right? So doctor of divinity, the reason why we're called doctors is because we heal through revealing the truth. That's what we do. And the reason why we're called a doctor is because we go through a doctorate program, okay? The doctorate programs are generally about 4 years long and they specialize. So, for me, I specialized in subconscious work, how metaphysics relates to the subconscious. That's how I developed the E4 trauma method. And that's how and why they've invited me into creating a doctorate program. So the doctorate program will be a 4-year program approximately. And it's going to be basically, we're going to take science of mind to science of mind 102. So it's going to be a lot of lab work. It's going to be a lot of research work with clients doing subconscious processes, doing different modalities, doing transformation, and we're going to be measuring it and putting it into real work to help our industry become more and more legit, if you will, because the spiritual world really should link up with the scientific world. We're coming together. We're going to be learning all things around metaphysics, neuroscience, biology, quantum physics, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be an incredible program. And whoever goes to that program will actually be doing a lot of research that will be going into the book that we'll be doing, which is Science of Mind 102. Which will be so excited. That's going to be coming years from now, not right now. We'll be working on that for quite some time, okay? So what does it mean? What is the difference, you guys? What is the difference between a coach, a spiritual practitioner, a minister, and a doctor of divinity. So first of all, Coach is a 300-hour program. It's really in facilitating the work of Soul Society. It's facilitating the workings of being spiritual mastery and business mastery. It's helping others be able to become the CEOs of their personal and professional lives. It's basically being trained in metaphysics, in universal law, in the truth triangle, in the E4 trauma method to be able to facilitate this, okay? No licensing is required for this, but we do certify under Soul Society in that, okay? The second is spiritual practitioner. Spiritual practitioner is a 360-hour program, and it is somebody who is literally embodying spiritual principle. And for me, this is probably the most important out of all the programs because it really transforms your entire life. No more drama, no more wrong thinking, no more of that. You get the foundations in living on principle, and you also get the foundations of new thought, science of mind, unity, divine science, and living, understanding the history of it, and really being able to be somebody that's speaking truth and revealing the limited beliefs within your clients to be able to know the truth. And let me tell you, your entire world and every single person around you will be, their entire lives will be changed because of this work, okay? The third level is ministry, and you have to become a spiritual practitioner to become a minister and a doctor of divinity. So the spiritual practitioner also actually has a license, which is, it's going to be New Thought Certified Practitioner. So NTCP, okay? And that is basically the 360-hour program. Ministry is a 2 to 3 year program, and this is it is a 670-hour program, and this is basically being able to teach all the work. Is being able to teach all the new thought movement, science of mind, unity, divine science, E4 trauma method, truth triangle, all that, to be able to teach it to whether you do Sunday service, whether you do an online platform, whether you write books, whether you do podcasts, whether you do workshops, whether you do classes. It is teaching, okay? And then last is Doctor of Divinity, and Doctor of Divinity is a 4-year program that we are developing, which will be all lab work. It will be research. It's going to be developing in the neurosciences, the quantum physics, the biology, and so on and so forth. And so I'm so excited to, this is like a dream come true to be able to be living this work, teaching this work, and helping others developing world-renowned spiritual teachers and leaders and practitioners and ministers and soon Doctor of Divinity. So it's super exciting. So I just want to say that we do have, you're welcome to text or call with any questions at 323-538-Erin, which is 3746. So that's 323-538-3746. Ask any questions. My team's happy to get on a call with you, discovery call, and see if you are a fit. We do only work with highly committed people. We do take applications for all the levels, and we are running some specials, of course, because it's during quarantine. But it's going to be an amazing next rollout, this whole next year of rolling this all out. I'm so excited. I'm so honored. And so also, we do have a free community you can join for free. It's soulsociety.com/inner circle, and in there are weekly lives for daily truth. There are weekly support group calls called Soul Circle sessions with all the ambassadors on everything from spiritual business to recovery to universal law to all kinds of stuff in there. We also do a 40-day guided meditation challenge that starts this next month as well, and we do often quarterly in there as well. Okay, you guys, so have a beautiful day, and I just know that we come together in truth, taking a deep inhale through the nose and exhaling out. And I just recognize right here, right now, the power that be, that I understand the power of mind, that you have the choice to live a life of heaven or hell, depending upon how you use your mind. And I recognize as you step into becoming the person that you've always desired to be, the highest version of yourself, living on truth, living on principle, and teaching truth, your life gets better and better and better. It is law. As you bring harmony, as you help others end their suffering, as you help others live their truth, I recognize that your life, it has to be reflected back in every cell of your body, every relationship of your body, every of your life, of every vitality and energetic aspect of your life. I recognize that this is the greatest work on this planet, which is expanding consciousness, because everything is born of consciousness. And so as you expand your consciousness, you will experience more and more of your power and the extraordinary aspect aspect of all of life. And so I simply know the truth of who you are, which is divine, which is God, which is spirit. I simply know this in my mind and my heart. As together we say, and so it is. Thanks, you guys. Have a beautiful day. If this is the first time on the stream, I'm Dr. Erin. I'm a doctor of divinity. I'm a New Thought minister. And we do teach Monday through Friday. We do a little live right here across all social media. You can find me at drerin.tv. And if you are interested in becoming a spiritual coach or a spiritual practitioner, a minister, a doctor of divinity, you're welcome to text me or my team, and we will get back to you setting up an appointment at 323-538-3746. That's 323-538-ERIN, ERIN. Have a beautiful day, you guys, and may you live your truth.